Commissioner Wayne Phillips, thank you so much for joining us for Stateline.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What can Canberrans expect in terms of the severity of extreme weather this summer?
The Bureau of Meteorology is saying an average year. So at the moment, they're predicting some hotter days and warmer nights going through the summer, particularly for the Canberra area. But there could be chances of thunderstorms this year. I think humidity may be a factor going into this year. So I think we need to be ready for both probably grass fires, but probably more so for thunderstorms in particular, those late afternoon thunderstorms that can come up from nowhere here in Canberra. We had one a couple of weeks ago on a Friday afternoon, if you remember that, hit us and disappear as quickly as they come in.
How prepared is your agency for whatever eventuates?
Our agency is really well prepared. So across the whole four services, Rural Fire Service, SES, Fire and Rescue and our ambulance service, we're prepared for this season. But what we really want is for our community, for Canberrans to be prepared. And we really want them to be prepared, be emergency ready. We want them to look at our website, esa.act.gov.au, to really get their emergency plans ready, know how to prepare their houses, particularly with storms, tree branches, clearing gutters, loose material around the yard. Same sort of preparation for a storm is sort of the same preparation for bushfire preparedness as well. Overhanging branches, prepared your yard, all of those things help us both in a chance of a bushfire, but more likely the chance of storms this year.
Commissioner, how is the new National Hazard Alert System performing when we think suburb by suburb, district by district here in the ACT?
So there is a national alert now, which is the Australian Warning System. So the same alerts, the same symbols, icons right across Australia. So if Canberrans, we love to go down to Batemans Bay and all of those areas. So you'll see the same alert down there. So there'll be advice about what's happening, be that a storm or bushfire in the area. Keep an eye out for that. Watch and act. What does that mean for you? What do you need to do? What actions come out of that? And then there'll be some sort of evacuation or removal part of that, the emergency alert warning. So you need to be paying attention. If you're going to those areas, keep an eye on the news, ABC News, keep an eye on Bureau of Meteorology, and keep an eye on things like Fires Near Me and Hazards Near Me apps that you can download on your phone to make sure you're well prepared and your family's well prepared.
Speaking of our surrounding region, how healthy would you say your agency's relationship is with emergency services in surrounding New South Wales?
We have a really good relationship with New South Wales. Just last week I met with the Commissioner of the RFS in New South Wales, Commissioner of Fire and Rescue, and the Acting Commissioner of SES, and we have a very strong working relationship, cross-border mutual aid agreements, national resourcing sharing scheme where we can move people in and out. At the moment, I've got people in Northern Territory helping with them with their bushfire, around emergency alerts and public information. So these resources are shared really willingly across state borders, territory borders. Fires, storms, floods don't really recognise borders. So we just deploy the resources where people need us, and it's a great arrangement.
Can we expect any changes then in terms of that collaboration with New South Wales authorities this summer? A greater collaboration, greater access to resources?
Yes, no, we have a great sharing scheme in regards to aircraft. We train with them. We in Canberra don't get the amount of incidents and the severity of incidents that the big states get, just due to our sheer location and our size. So when we can, I send people away with particularly New South Wales RFS and SES to train and ensure that they bring those skills back for us and for Canberrans.
Now, Commissioner, let's focus on that scathing report into the culture of the ESA that made 18 recommendations last year to address what it found was a culture of blame and fear among the executive, with examples of bullying, blaming, withholding information, undermining decisions and exclusion. What kind of faith can people have that those findings have been actioned and that we're going to see a change in the culture?
So can I start with what that report said was that the 4 emergency services were doing a splendid job, and the first responders, both volunteer, firefighters and paramedics, were doing a great job at the time, still do a great job in protecting Canberrans. So I think we need to really take note of that. But in regards to the back part of that, those recommendations, I've acted on that, and I can assure the community that we have moved on, our leadership has grown, has matured, and we're ready for this summer, particularly with the pending high-risk weather season.
In what way have you acted then on those 18 recommendations? Have they all been actioned?
No, most of them have been actioned. We've got about, it's an 18-month plan. We're through tranche 1 of those recommendations and we're moving into the tranche 2. I have a oversight committee that has independent people from outside the ACT government appointed on that oversight committee that I'll report to monthly with the recommendations to ensure that I'm kept accountable for ensuring that the recommendations from that review are on time and on track.
ESA Commissioner Wayne Phillips, thank you so much for being with us on Stateline.
Thank you for having me.